Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So recently there was a question that the actress Tachina Arnold posted, or it said on a talk show. I forgot which one it was, and it was this question right here, which is, what can Black women do to stop aiding in the emasculation of Black men in America? Now, before I go any further, I wanted to first post what the definition of emasculate means, because some people don't actually know the definition of the word to begin with. So one definition said to deprave a man of his male role or identity, and there's another one right underneath it, which is to make weaker or less effective. Then another word that popped up under that was effeminate, which is with reference to a man having characteristics or ways of behaving traditionally associated with a woman and regarded as inappropriate for a man. Now, don't get upset with me. That is the textbook definition of both of those words. That's what it means when we say that a man is being effeminate or he's being emasculated, etc. Now, with that in mind, and what Tachina Arnold said, the question that she posed, it was a legit question. There were a lot of people, of course, that got offended because I guess in their minds they didn't read what could we stop doing to aid in the emasculation of Black men, but they read that we're the reason why they're emasculated, and that's not what she said. So she said, what can we do as Black women is to quit aiding in it? Not that it was our fault that it's happening necessarily, just that what are some ways that we can do to stop it, or at least not promote it and, keep it continuing. Now, I will say this. We all know that in, the media, movies, TV shows, it has been history that there have been a lot of Black actors who have put on a dress and a wig, and that is, that's the textbook definition of emasculation. Like I said, don't get mad at me. Get mad at the textbook, okay? It's a textbook definition of emasculate. And so I think what we can do, I guess, as women, not saying that it's our fault, because I don't believe that it is, but we can stop, like promoting these movies. Like, I know, like, we love to say, Martin is like one of the OG Black shows, but the moment he came out there in a wig and a dress, we should have protested. We should have boycotted it. You know what I'm saying? Like, understand this. There are some things I believe that we can do as Black women. Like I said, we can stop promoting it. We can stop promoting women and men in dresses, men in wigs. We can stop saying, look, if you're going to make our Black men accept roles only if they put on a dress, then we're going to boycott everything that you do. That's something we could do. Now, there was also, I was, looking at some different videos on this topic, and there's a YouTube page called The Philip Scott Show. And he made a video about this subject, and he explained some things saying, like what we as Black women could do to help with, like, stop, like I said, aiding with the emasculation. And I do agree with the stuff that he said. I do. And like I said, there are some things that we can do. Although, here's what I'm going to say. Like, I'm a little bit on, I don't want to say on the fence, but I'm kind of like stuck in between, because I'm like saying there are things that we can do, like I said, and like what he said in his video. Although at the end of the day, sometimes it comes down to a responsibility issue. Like, at the end of the day, it's the responsibility of that person, of that Black man in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, with the whole wigs and dresses things, like, I don't believe anybody forced them to put on a wig and a dress, like they chose to do it because they wanted to do it. Maybe they didn't, but they just wanted the money that came with it, and there are too many actors, Black actors, who like putting on wigs and dresses and imitating Black women today. And like I said, they weren't forced to do it. So in a way, they kind of emasculated themselves. Now, that's not something that we can, that we can stop or that we can prevent. Like I said, we can stop like watching their movies. We can stop supporting them. But like, if they choose to do it, like, that's where the issue where I kind of fell off with the issue. Like, yeah, there's some things that we can do. Like I said, stop promoting it. Stop promoting stuff where men are, making themselves more feminine. But if they choose to do it, despite all of our trying to get them not to, then the responsibility kind of falls on them now, like the choice is theirs, Now, there's something that I want to point out because whenever she first asked the question, there were so many people, like I said before, they really ripped into her for asking that question because they felt like she was trying to say that it's black women's fault that black men are emasculated, and that's not the truth, and that's not what she said. Like, she just asked, what can we stop, what can we stop doing to help aid, in them not being emasculated? Like, what can we do to, like, stop the process? That's all she said. But people turned it into like a whole gender war, and they were like picking sides, and they were like throwing blame at people. And that's something that people are really good at, like throwing blame and not taking responsibility or accountability. And like I said before, one thing we can do as black women is like not promoting these movies and shows with them dressed up like that. Like, you're not going to like put our black men in dresses and wigs, and they're not going to choose to put on a dress and a wig, or we're not going to promote it. And we can also stop by doing stuff like I said with the Scott Phillips show, like what he said, where we can stop, sleeping with men that's not our husband, stop having babies with men that's not our husband, which is something that we've been needed to stop doing anyways. And one thing that I'm saying we can stop doing, all those women who like to have the whole, I'm an independent woman and I don't need no man, especially if you have kids and you have a father that's trying to be in their lives and you're stopping them from being in your lives. Like, let's go back to that textbook definition. That is literally like you keeping them from being a father. You're keeping them from their role because you're stopping them from being in their life. Like, that's just so devious to do. And there are women I know that do it in this world, and it needs to stop. So that's another thing that we can do. Like, stop trying to make it seem like a woman can raise a child by herself, because a child needs a man and a father and a mother in the home. Like, fathers are important. They're very important. Like, you want to wonder why like our society is so jacked up, because we got so many broken homes. Like, we need functional fathers, functional mothers, okay, in the home, or at least playing an active role, okay? And whenever you promote not having, fathers and mothers in the house, or, fathers and mothers having active roles, especially fathers having an active role in a child's life, then you kind of are aiding in the emasculation, because you're keeping them from doing what they can do. You know what I'm saying? In that aspect. And I strongly believe that. So that's one thing. Like I said, and the other thing is, if nobody's keeping you from doing it, why aren't you doing it? It's one thing if somebody's trying to keep you out of the house, but it's another thing for a man to say, you know what, I know I have kids, but I'm not taking care of them kids. Like, you know how the textbook phrase, forget them kids. That's what a lot of people, a lot of guys out here, their own kids, they don't want to have nothing to do with. And it has nothing to do with the wife or the baby mama not letting them see them. It's just them not being there. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, like I said, it's more than one issue to tackle. That's all I'm saying. Now, one more thing that I wanted to bring up that I know I feel like I'm poking the bear here, but so this came up on the media, and I couldn't help but relate this to the question that she asked. And I feel like maybe she even, well, I won't say that, but I feel like this is very connected. Let's just put it that way. Now, the reason why I included this is because I'm a real, like, protect the children type of a person, right? Not just, I guess, well, maybe because I'm, a woman, but I'm just a protect the children type of person, Like, I don't have kids, but like I said, I am a protect the children type of a person. And that includes, like, if you're that child's guardian or parent, whether you're the step parent, biological parent, it is your job to make sound, wise decisions for that child, what's best for that child, until they can start making their own decisions. And that's not until they are a developed adult, And so I feel like this is a textbook example. I know I'm using that word a lot, but this is a textbook example of the whole emasculation thing. And I feel like, some people, like I said, this whole subject has everybody offended, because people feel like they're trying to blame Gabrielle Union and all this kind of stuff. This is what I have to say. I blame both of them, because they were his parents and his guardians. And they were the ones who, like I said, was supposed to be making sure they made wise decisions and sound decisions for him as a child. And I think that they didn't do that. I don't think they did that at all. And so I blame both of them. More so his father, because he is the husband. He is the man, the head of the household. And like I said, I'm going to stop right here, because, like I said, these kind of subjects make people get, offended. And when people are offended, they turn crazy. And so, like, don't you can talk about all the free rights of speech that you want to. All that goes out the window when people are offended. But like I said, when I saw this, I felt like it tied in perfectly with this whole situation. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody gets where I'm going with this, and that I don't have to go into detail about it. But anyways, you all tell me what you all think in the comments down below. Be respectful, please. There is a block button and report button. Just keep that in mind if you don't want to be respectful. But I urge you, brethren and sister, and to be respectful in the comments down below.